Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. I am glad to welcome all board members to Annual General Meeting 2021 for the company Petronas. Also present at the meeting today, Ms. Putri Nur Zahira binti Sharizal and Ms. Siti Zulaika binti Abdul Latif as our financial analysis. Next, Mr. Amar bin Hairi as Islamic Bank representative, Ms. Siti Raihana binti Razali as Maybank representative. Lastly, Mr. Muhammad Farhan Hafiz bin Abdullah, one of the Petronas shareholder representative. The objective of our meeting is to create a new project for our company, which is to open a new branch abroad. I choose Singapore as the location for our new branch because the country have a good economic system. As everyone know, Singapore is the #1 economy in Southeast Asia. That is why a total of 5 oil pump stations will open there at an estimated cost of 10 million. The opening of new petrol station in Singapore has a low risk. This is because the average daily COVID-19 case record in Singapore over the past 8 months is less than 50 people per day, compared to other foreign countries such as Thailand and Indonesia, which show daily COVID-19 figure up to 4 digits. Observation of COVID-19 case in place is very important because when we want to start the project and the COVID-19 case are high, it will be affect the economy of the country. Going back to the project I mentioned earlier, now I would like to discuss how to get a sources of fund. Either it is better to loan from a bank or to issue financial security. For the purpose, I would like to seek clarification on the financial position of Petronas company. Ms. Zulaika and Ms. Putri, can you present the financial position to us?
Greetings everyone. I am glad that you all are able to join the meeting in a fine condition despite this pandemic. Some of you might know us, but still allow me to introduce ourselves. Starting by Putri Nur Zahira and myself, Siti Zulaika, as the financial analyst for our company. We are given the task by our CEO Hanan to explain the financial position of the company, Petronas Gas Berhad. Starting off by the comparative part that will be explained by financial analyst Zahira.
Alright, for the comparative, we had decided to compare with Petron. Based on our calculations for the liquidity ratios, it is clear that Petronas is better than Petron. This shows that the firm is able to pay off its current liabilities with its current asset and its liquid assets. Moving on to efficiency ratios, Petronas fixed asset turnover, total asset turnover, and average collection period is worse than Petron, which means that they are less efficient in utilizing its fixed asset to generate sales, and it is also inefficient in collecting debt. It is, however, efficient in utilizing its inventory to generate more sales. Next is their profitability ratios. Petronas is better, which shows that they are able to make profit from its overall business operations. I will pass to Zulaika for the trend analysis part.
Thank you, Zahira. So in order to know more about how well Petronas performed, I have done a comparison between the past and recent performance. After some calculation, the statement of financial ratio for Petronas Gas Berhad is formed, and it shows the liquidity ratio for the year 2020 is poor compared to the year 2019. This shows that in 2019, the firm is unable to pay off its current liabilities with its current assets and its liquid assets. Next, as I expected, the efficiency ratio for the year 2020 is better than the year 2019. This shows that the firm is efficient in utilizing its inventory, fixed assets, and total assets to generate sales. It also shows that the firm is efficient in its collection policy. Lastly, as we can see here, the profitability ratio for the year 2020 is better than the year 2019. This shows that the firm is able to make profit from its overall business operation. Overall, 2020 shows a greater performance compared to the year before. The performance for 2020 is taken and used to compare Petronas Gas Berhad performance to another company. And after some comparison, Petronas Gas Berhad are still doing better in terms of performance.
In conclusion, for our financial summary, we can conclude that Petronas is better than Petron's average ratio, and it shows that the company is able to meet its short-term obligation even when the trend analysis showed that 2020 is doing worse than 2019. For efficiency ratio, we can conclude that company is worse than industry average ratio, and it shows that the company is not able to manage their asset efficiently to generate sales. However, in our trend analysis, it is showed that 2020 is better than 2019. But for profitability ratio, it shows that the company's net profit margin is higher than Petron's. It is also stated by Zulaika that in trend analysis, 2020 is higher than 2019. Therefore, it is better to issue financial securities because the company is better in both trend analysis and industry comparison.
That is all from us.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation on financial position. Ms. Raihana, based on the financial position of my company, is my company eligible to make loan? And can I know the offer given by my bank?
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Raihana binti Razali and I am from Maybank Executive. Okay, here I will explain more about the offer from our bank to lend to your company. If your company are interested the offer from our bank, you will easily receive application as fast as 10 minutes due to the smooth process of registration from our company via the website. Second, there is no document required if you are an existing customer from my bank. And third one is there is financing disbursement as fast as 1 minute. And last but not least is our website are available online 24 hours so that you can deal with us via website. According to your inquiries, our bank will further measure your financial ratios, which consist of liquidity ratio, activity ratios, leverage ratios, and profitability ratios. Okay, this will directly related to the credit worthiness of your company. So there are 5 characters of credit worthiness, which are character, capital, conditions, collateral, and the lastly is capacity. So for the first factor is character. My bank will ask for all the information about the financial management and financial positions of your company. And from here, we will assess for ourselves the conditions that our bank has set on your loan that you are applying for. Second is capacity. This refers to the ability of the company to pay debt. Based on the Petronas liquidity ratio, the company is better than Petron, and this indicates that Petronas is able to settle its current liabilities with its current assets and liquid assets. My bank will also look further to the Petronas profit ratio to measure that the company's overall business operating profit. The third one is capital. Maybank need to measure the firm's ability to pay debt by looking at the general financial positions. Okay, based on the Petronas leverage ratio for the year of 2020, the leverage ratio for this year is better than 2019, and meaning the firm is effective in financing decisions and the use of debt financing by the firm. And for the collateral, the factor number 4, there is no collateral required from our bank to obtain credit facilities. Lastly, the condition of our bank. The first one is the firm's annual sales turnover is below than 25 million. The second one is the outstanding loan with Maybank is below 5 million. The third is the company must Malaysian on registered company. Lastly is the operation must more than 1 year. In conclusion, financing facility under this scheme are available in both conventional and Islamic financing. The interest rate for this product is calculated based on a variable rate basis and the letter of guarantee by the directors, and CGC guarantee will be taken as collateral or security for the financing. That's all from my bank, and if you have any inquiries, you can ask for more details and information.
Thank you, Ms. Rana. A clear explanation for the long-term set. Next, Mr. Amar, what about the long term set by Islamic Bank?
So, my name is Ammar bin Haidi. Today, I am representative as your local bank and Islam. Okay. So, based on your report given to us, your company, Petronas, is eligible to make a loan with Bank Islam. After we carefully check your report, we noticed that you have some problem with liquidity ratios in 2020, which is last year. However, Petronas' efficiency and profitability measure is good in 2020 and 2019. For creditworthiness, I can say that Petronas have the 5 factor of creditworthiness that give us, Bank Islam, the confidence to make a loan with Petronas, so Petronas can open the new retail at Singapore. We believe that Petronas, one of the largest successful company in Malaysia, can pay the loan within the time limit. So this is for offering. So for offer, we understand that Petronas want RM 10 million for the new opening retail in Singapore. Bank Islam are proudly to give the Petronas RM 10 million. Petronas can choose the time loan either 5 years or 10 years. We assume that the profit rate is 7%. So as stated in the report, for 5 years, the monthly payment is RM 255,000, which is for 60 months. However, for 10 years, the monthly payment is RM 141,666.667 for 120 months. The total payback loan is 13,500,000 for 5 years. However, RM 70 million for 10 years. The interest rate for 5 years is lower than 10 years. The difference is 35%. However, we, Bank Islam, sure that Petronas can take 5 years loan time. This is because after we look at the statement of financial position, we see that Petronas profit is greater than the loan we offer to Petronas. So we Bank Islam are confident enough to give the special offer to Petronas. What do you think?
Thank you for the brief explanation, Mr. Amar. Mr. Fahan, do you have any comment you would like to talk about a new project or financial position for our company?
Yes, Mr. Hanan, I want to know about the profit from the project to open new branch 5 gas station at Singapore and the ability the project to, so I can know the dividend if I buy a share from your company. So I will comment about the profitability performance. Okay, as you can see, the profitability ratio on 2019 and 22. The gross profit margin ratio from the data above, it showed that the percentage of gross profit margin for Petronas in 2019 is low. Petronas is having trouble with the operation business. It is possible that the selling price are not rising as fast as the cost of the product sale. For example, decline may mean that the cost of production are rising faster than the price, and adjustment are necessary. Meanwhile, in 2020, the percentage of gross profit margin for Petronas is high. Higher ratio indicates higher remaining cash the firm has after paying its trade credit. The higher ratio, the better for the company. Okay, for the operating profit margin, by looking at this ratio over time, they can get a fix on whether the overall cost. From the percentage, 49 prove that the ratio indicates better productivity of the Petronas business operation. And in 2020, the percentage has increased 5%. Overall business operation have good productivity and they had improvement in terms of management. Okay, next, net profit margin. In 2019, the percentage is low and the amount is 37%. Petronas cannot meet the goals for that they are target to reach for this year. Looking at the gross margin operation margin is a better way to get a fix on problem. Meanwhile, in 2020, the shareholder get better income when the ratio is higher, which is 41%. In this year, we can assume that the revenue Petronas get a high and give a lot of income to the shareholder. Okay, the nextly, return on the total asset. Based on Based on calculation on financial statement, it shows in 2019 the return on asset is 10%. The core ratio indicates the low return for Petronas investment and will not generate more profit with all the asset. The shareholder could get a low of return income during this year. While in 2020, the return on asset is 13%. If this ratio is higher, then it will have to indicate higher return on Petronas investment, and it will help the Petronas to generate profit with all it is asset. The shareholder can earn high return income this year. Okay, for the return on equity, the return on equity is of Petronas to the shareholder is 13%. It will indicate higher return for them. And 2020, the return on equity is 15%. This indicates a little high return on shareholder. Based on the comparison of the 2019 and 2020, it will give clear vision picture to the shareholder for making decision to buy a share of Petronas. This is about the project are open 5-branch new gas station at Singapore that proposed by the Chief Executive Officer or CEO. Shareholder can make the right decision to buy share from Petronas because when the project runs smoothly, they can get high profit when they buy share from Petronas. Because as we can see, the profitability 2019 and 2020 have more improvement from the statistic that have given and strong competitive force for Petronas company can convince the shareholder to get more dividend. Okay, that's all from the shareholder. Thank you.
Thanks to Mr. Farhan for the speech just now. After seeing the development of the financial position and hearing about the offer given by both banks, I decided to choose issue financial security as the source of fund for the purpose project. We can see an increase in the annual profit of the Petronas company compared to the previous year. So inventor will not hesitate to invest in our company. Of course, they will know if we are about to open a new branch in Singapore, we will get double profit because the value of Singapore currency is bigger compared to Malaysia. Next, I don't want to take risks and be bound by bank policy. As informed by financial manager, the company will be obliged to pay monthly installment until the maturity date, no matter whether the company make a profit or incurs a loss. That's all the word for me. If nothing else, shall we close the meeting?